Okay, here's our video on unit rates. So before we go over rates, let's just review tape diagrams for a minute. So if I made a tape diagram, say I made this box up here, how would you describe this tape diagram as a ratio? Remember, it's just tape diagrams are models of a ratio. So let's just say this was, let's say cats, and this was dogs. So how would you write that ratio? What is the ratio of that? We just count the boxes, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 cats to 2 dogs. So you can write it like this. And we know we can also write ratios that look like fractions, but they're not fractions. You can also say 5 to 2. And we can also say in words, for every 5 cats, there's 2 dogs. Okay, and our next topic we're going to talk about is a rate and unit rate. So a rate is a ratio that has 2 different units. So for example, we have 50 miles, that's 1 unit, and hours. So there's 2 different units here, and that's what a rate is. So this car, for example, is going 50 miles in 1 hour. Now unit rates, they're the rate of 1 unit. This right here is actually a unit rate because it's 1 hour. So unit rates are the rate of 1 unit. So if we were going 150 miles in 3 hours, the unit rate is how much we can go in 1 hour. That would be the unit rate. And in order to do that, all you have to do is just divide. Divide 150 divided by 3. That was how you would get the unit rate. So 150 divided by 3 could be written that way, like a fraction. 150 divided by 3, that's the division sign. But you can also say 150 divided by 3 like a fraction. So keep this in mind when you do it like this, the top number always goes in the box. Just kick that top number in the box. Remember that. As a fraction, the top number goes in the box. So just simply divide. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. You get a 0 remainder. 3 goes into 0. So you get 50. So the unit rate, if you're going 150 miles in 3 hours, you're going 50 miles per hour. That's mph. 50 miles per hour is the unit rate. See if you can do this one now. Let's say you're going 250 miles in 5 hours. What is the unit rate? So this is the rate. Now we're trying to find the unit rate. Remember, unit means 1. So what do? Divide. 250 divided by 5. Right? So just again, you can do 250 divided by 5. And we know that the top number goes in the box. Right? And if you get this, you'll get another answer of 50. So this unit rate is also 50 miles per hour. Now it doesn't have to be hour, it can also be seconds or whatever the question says. In this case, we're doing hours, so the unit rate will be in hours. Now sometimes a unit rate will give you the cost of something. And if a unit rate gives you the cost of one thing, it's the unit cost. So the unit rate and the unit cost is the same thing. We'll just use unit cost in the supermarket, for example. Now to find the unit cost, you've got to take the price and divide it by the size. So the price divided by the size. You can also make that better as a fraction. So if you go to the supermarket and you see, let's say you go to the supermarket and you see 12 apples for $4.20. Well, we're just simply dividing. We're going to divide the cost by the size or the amount. So simply divide that. So divide that, and what do you get? Well, you're going to get 35 cents an apple. So that's the unit cost, 35 cents an apple. And how do we check? Well, just divide. We said we had 12 apples, and they came out to $4.20. So 0.35 is 35 cents times 12 gives us $4.20. That's how you check. Now, if you see that you have the unit rate already, it's easy. If someone tells you, well, if it's going 30 miles in 1 hour, how many miles can you go in 8 hours? What do you think you can do here? You already know the unit rate. Just multiply 8 times 30. What's 8 times 30? 240 miles. You're going 30 miles every hour. So in 8 hours, you just multiply. In this case, we're going to use unit cost because we're using money. Let's say you go to a store and it says 9 boxes for $5.67. You go to another store and they say, well, we'll give you 12 boxes for $7.80. To get the better buy, you need to find the unit cost of each of these. So you should pause the tape, find the unit cost for each of these, and the one that has the smallest unit cost is the better buy. So remember, we're doing cost. When we use unit cost, is the cost over the size or the amount. So try that. Pause the tape and see what you get. Okay, so if we divided this, 9 boxes would be 63 cents each. But 12 boxes would be 65 cents each. So the better buy is the 9 boxes for $5.67. So that's unit rate. Great job.